Welcome and team and team and team. How you all doing this morning? I'm recording this in the morning, you know what I mean? Sunday morning. Okay, I hope you guys are having a good day. Today, we're gonna watch this video here and it's called The Cost of Living in Romania. I did a video of the cost of living in Serbia and I got lots of reactions from the Serbians as to how it is there and all of that. Now, the video is about an expat who moved to Serbia. This one, I searched high and wide trying to find a video, you know what I mean? And this video seems like a person who's telling people who wants to move to Romania what it would cost them. And I do believe this is centered more on Bucharest. So hit me up in the comment section, let me know if what it's like there for an ordinary Romanian family, because I was looking for a video to see that if that I could find out something about that way, but this is the best I could do here. So bear with me. That's why I need you all in the comment section telling me what it is, what's different about rent and stuff there, and food and all of that stuff there, especially so much so in Bucharest, in the big cities. And I'll put in the 2 cents on the island and living in America too. Let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer and see what this dude have to say.
Hello everyone and welcome to another R&R Partners video. Today we are going to do a fun video. We are going to tackle the cost of living in Romania, and I'm not gonna share a budget or something like that. I'm just going to share how I would do if I would be moving to Romania, how I would be calculating my costs, where to get the information, and where to start a budget from. If you are interested in coming to Romania, this is the first video that you see with this face. I would recommend to subscribe to our channel, as we post here many videos with regards to immigrating to Romania or starting an economic activity in Romania. So we would be glad if you would join our subscribers and be part of the channel. So if you are taking into consideration moving in Romania, or I don't know, you got the promotion but the position is in Romania, I think the first question that goes through your head is, okay, I'm going to Romania, but how much am I going to pay for the living? Unfortunately, the part with making a budget for living in Romania or sharing the cost, it's something very personal, and it depends from person to person. So what I'm thinking of is sharing some current prices that you can find here in Bucharest, and at the end of the day also give you information like where to look, what websites are okay, and not just throw darts in the dark. As I know that if you are from another country and you're searching for Romania, rentals in Romania or something like that, they can lead you to some bogus websites which are not real, where there are some people which are just investing a lot in having you on their websites, and they are not the real market. So the first topic of the discussion would be rentals. First of all, Romania has some particularities which you need to know from the get-go. For example, if you are looking for a studio apartment, if you want to be very savvy, we call them in Romanian garsonieră, and that maybe you'll see this term in the public offering or something like that. They will be called garsonieră. So a studio apartment is a garsonieră. And you also need to know that in Romania we count the rooms, we do not count the bedrooms. So for example, if you are looking for a 1-bedroom apartment, you need to be looking for a 2-room. A 1-room is a studio apartment. At the moment of filming this video, I search online for a studio apartment in Bucharest just to see what is the cheapest option. Maybe you want to live here a year, you hang out more in the city, you don't really care of where you're living. And unfortunately, the minimum budget for Bucharest for a studio apartment is around 200 euro, and that's quite out of the city. So the minimum I would tell you to have in the budget would be 250 euro. Once you hit the 300 euro mark, it's even better. You should have plenty of options studio apartment. Another particularity that you will have while searching for rentals.
A studio apartment. I've never lived in a studio apartment. Oh, I did. I did. Let me think. I did. Right across the street from where I am there. And I've paid like 350 US at the time. Or was it 400 flat? I think it was that a 350 or 400? I think the utilities was included. And it was just a studio apartment. I'm trying to picture it though, but I can't. I know I had a bathroom, and the bedroom and the kitchen was pretty much the same. And this was about 20 years ago. But yeah, I had to think a little bit there. But other than that, I've never lived in a studio apartment. A studio apartment in New York City now, whoo, you'd be paying 1,000, probably $1,500 a month, depending on the neighborhood. If it's a nice neighborhood, it's going to be more. People lived in closets in New York. I've seen people pay, I've seen videos of people paying $1,000 to live in like a hallway type looking apartment. You come in there and it's just like the bed, a little stove, no space whatsoever. And you're like, and they're asking for $1,000, $1,500 a month for that. Of course, too, that depends on which part you live. Kind of like he said, for 200, 250, it's outside of Bucharest, and and so on. Now, when I was growing up in the islands, we would pay $80 a month for a house. Can you believe that? That was back in the 1970s. Now I'm paying it's like $200 a month for a house. You know what I'm saying? Taking the cost of inflation and stuff like that. So you get a nice apartment down there. Now it also depends on where you live, because I've known, but those aren't studio apartments. But I've seen houses are like $800-900 a month now, and that's really good, because $800-900 a month is how much to rent an apartment cost here, pretty much. Like it's about $100 cheaper to rent a house there, and that's Eastern Caribbean. No, that's not Eastern Caribbean, because that's U.S. currency. So I mean, all in all, it's kind of cheaper to live there, because you can rent a house for like $800-900 a month and get like 2-3 bedrooms. I'm not talking about 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms. I'm talking about two, three, four, sometimes 4 bedrooms on the island. All houses are built cheaper though, because it's like tropics, so we don't have all that insulation, and you don't have to worry too much about anything but electricity there, because you don't have to worry about heating the house. It's all keeping it cool. And most of the times, depending on where you live, it's cool anyway. So you don't really need an air conditioner or central heat, cooling, or whatever you want to call it there. But so that's how consumerate it is. Where I live is a small town, and rent isn't as high as New York, but it's pretty high when you take into consideration how much people make in this small town. Let's keep going.
Do note that in Romania, the rent is what you pay to the landlord, and it does not include a warranty, which you usually pay when you rent the apartment. As customary, it's
Okay, he calls it a warranty. We call it a deposit. Usually, you pay a deposit and the first month's rent, depending on who you rent it from. Sometimes it's a deposit, first month and last month's rent. Especially here when with the students and stuff, because this is a university town, they ask for first and second, because you don't get the deposit back when you're sometimes because of the damage. They use that deposit to compensate for the damage.
a 1 month warranty. If they ask for 2 months, usually you have a bargain to do there and limit that to 1 month. Second, we don't include in the rental price the utilities, which are usually gas, electricity. It's also the water. However, the water is usually paid to the association of the flat. So basically, each block of flats, you will have an association. You will see downstairs each and every month how much you pay, and you need to go and look there and see how much you need to pay each and every month in order to stay there. And
Now, that's different because we have your water company here, we have your electric company, and it's all separate and all private companies that you pay to for that. But you said you have to pay the water to the association of the apartment complex. There is apartment complexes here, but usually it's just people renting houses. Where I am, there is apartment complexes, but most of it is low income, government owned, ran complexes. They call it the projects in this area here. There are some apartment complexes that are privately owned, but it's usually around where students are mainly. When you go outside of the main downtown area, which is where I live, you'll find apartment complexes, but it's not really big apartment complexes. I don't know how big they are in Romania.
that is also something that you need to do. For a studio apartment, add to the budget somewhere around €100. Also, going back to the part where you are paying the bills, you can always ask the landlord for some electricity bills and gas bills if they are billed separately. And when you go and visit the apartment, you can go at the list of apartments and you can see there how much they paid for the previous month. So they will not say, oh, it's a very cheap apartment in maintenance. We just pay €25 each month. And then you see that it's 75 or something like that, or it's 50. You can just go there, see the previous month, and you can see other apartments, what they have, and make a general assessment. So if you've taken the decision to move by yourself to Romania and you don't know where to start from, be aware that you can always book an appointment with us and we can give you tailored advice, even assist you through all the procedure, so you'll not have any issues with the immigration authority and make sure that everything is going according to plan. As for the rentals and where you can find usually the normal rentals and what I like the most about the next websites I'm going to refer you to is that they have a map. Look for having the apartment in technically any part of Bucharest except the southeast. That is like a bad part of the city. Try to have something east, west, near the parks, south part of the city. And if you are a non-EU citizen, please avoid Ilfov area, as the queues in Ilfov are horrendous. I mean, you are waiting for 5-6 months for an appointment at the immigration office for your residency permit. The websites that I want to refer are imobiliare.ro. It's IMOBILERE.ro. And the second one is anunțul.ro, ANUNTUL.ro. Now, you found an apartment, everything looks good. Probably you'll be paying in rent in Romania less than you do in, I don't know, US, UK, France. There are many countries which are more expensive than Romania. The next part in your budget would be food. So for the grocery part, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Each eats individually and have certain preferences in what they choose. But for example, we'll start with some basics. A loaf of bread starts from €1, the basic one, and goes to €2, the premium one. If you are looking for potatoes, they are €1.
Did you say that the bread is €1? Because a loaf of bread here could cost you $5 easy. And I work at a grocery store, and I see those prices just keep going up and going up. You know what I mean? Now, here's a question though. In Romania, is it by brand? Is it the well-known brands more expensive than the what generic brands and things here? You know, because here bread and any kind of food. Now you could get the cheaper brands, but those are low quality, so that which means probably they use more chemical, which is a farce anyway. They all use chemicals in any food here. You know, you could be eating anything here. I mean, that's where I kind of limit. The only thing that I have advice that I have is eating sweet. I have a problem with eating sweet, but anything else, I tend to buy organic, which is a little bit more expensive. How is that in Romania? Is organic more expensive? That's what we call organic. There's a different term that you all use for it there. Because I did a video one time, and there was a woman who was not from there going to the grocery store, and she just went for the most expensive things, as far as I could tell in the video. So, for a Romanian family, to all the Romanians who are watching this, a loaf of bread, how much does that really cost there? You know what I mean? Especially if you're living on a budget, because you always have to remember that how much you could spend is consummate on how much you make. So, you know, when they talk about expats going to move there and stuff, they're probably going to be making a little bit more money than the ordinary Romanian because they're going there to work for a company that send them there, so they're going to pay them pretty decent, you know. Uh, Now, food here, God, it's expensive. And it's shot up. And I'm telling you, I see it. I work at the grocery store. I used to buy olive oil. It was $5.99 one week. The next week I went back, it was $6.99. It went up a whole $1.99 within a week span. And I'm watching everything go up. I remember as a kid, I used to get like a candy for 2 cents. Now you get a candy and it's like a buck something, but it's still the 2 cents quantity. Let's keep going.
Per kilogram. Tomatoes are €2 per kilogram. Rice from €1, €1.5, and goes up to €3 per kilo. Cherry tomatoes are a bit more expensive. They're around €4 per kilogram. And
Wow.
if you will cook, probably you want some meat. And for that, it's €3.5 per kilogram, a full chicken. That can increase to, let's say, €4 per kilo if you want certain parts of the chicken. However, the price of food usually goes up and down. What is today, tomorrow will not be there. So usually you'll have near your apartment a general shop called Mega Image. That is where you go and do your general shopping. You can enter anytime on their website. It's megaimage.ro with a dash between them. You can search it on Google and I'm sure you'll find it there. I don't know if they have.
No, yeah, the cool thing that I've heard about, from what I've seen and what I've been told in the comment section, people who email me in Romania, is that it seems to have what we call here mom and pop stores, where you could go to your local little grocery store and your local little butcher. There's none of that here. There's absolutely none of that here. There used to be a convenience store across the way here, and it went out of business years ago. When I first came to this area, it's called Huntington, there was a lot of little mom and pop stores everywhere, but you have these big corporations like Walmart came in, and Walmart have Sam's Club where you can just go buy a bulk of stuff. You get 24 rolls of toilet paper, and it's cheaper to buy it in the bulk than it is to go to the store and buy it, or to just go to that ordinary grocery store. There's no mom and pops convenience stores. The convenience stores that they have here are all owned by large corporations. You can't, man. This place has changed so much since I came here to America in '86. There were so many little of those stores, and now they're all gone. And even they started to get expensive because they have to compete with the big boys. And since nobody want to go there because you can only get certain things at these convenience stores, they start going to places like Walmart where you can just shop and get everything. They push all the small stores out of business. On the island, it's the opposite. We didn't have a whole lot of grocery stores, and we still don't. What we have is in the villages is like these little what we call shops, and you could go in there, you could buy a pound of butter, a pound of salt, a pound of sugar, half a pound, quarter pound. You could buy that. Shoot, you could go in there and buy a fifth of rum, where they just pour the rum out in a bottle for you. You know what I mean? You could take it home, and whoever drinks. I don't drink, but it's all owned by just somebody in the village, and they buy the stuff in bulk, and then they come and they sell it in the little shops and stuff. So that's how we got our added groceries, because we had our own backyard gardens and stuff like that, and still do, and still do. Now here, no such thing, man. They have what you call farmers market, and but even they have become sort of organized. When I go to Virginia to visit my buddy, we go to this farmers market, and it's just this big place, and it's owned by a person, and it's all pretty much organic stuff, but it still looks like a corporation, and the prices are decent, but still up there. That's good.
Have an English website, but I know they have online version of the shop in which they have all their prices up to date, and you can shop online. So basically, if you can shop online, that's what they are going to sell everything to you today. And an additional website that you can go to and search would be fresh.ro. No dashes, nothing between them. Be aware that full is with one L. So it's freshfull.ro. The third biggest expense.
Okay, now here's another thing too for average Romanians. Do you have like websites like Amazon where you could just about buy anything? Amazon is the online version of Walmart. You could just walk into Walmart and buy anything. Do the ordinary Romanians do a lot of online shopping like we do here? Now I shop online for clothes a lot because they don't even have any big and tall stores anymore around. You gotta go shop, and I'm always disappointed when I get it because it looks good online, and then you get it, and it's nothing like what it looks like. Now, as far as food is concerned, I've never ordered food online unless it's like something from the islands that I can't go into the store and buy, like a Christmas fruit cake or like candy. Certain things that I cannot get where I am here. I'll order it online. But is the online craze a big thing there in Romania like it is here? Because like everybody, man, they just shop online pretty much anymore. And also in grocery stores here, they have what you call pickup, where people like they call in their order, or they type in their order into a website. Workers pick the groceries for them. They go shopping around for the groceries, and then the customer comes in for the groceries, call, and they take it out to their cars for them. Is that happening there in Romania too? You know what I mean? I just want to know how it is elsewhere. I know on the island there's nothing like that. You have to go shopping. There's no ordering online. And you could order online maybe and then go pick it up, but there's no delivery as far as I know. We don't have stuff like pizzas and all that stuff on the island to be delivered.
Would be eating out. Most probably, if you're moving to Romania, you want to meet new people, you want to do something extra than in your country, or you want to explore the cities, so probably you'll be caught in the middle of the day, the inner city, and you want something to eat. Generally, a dish eaten in the city starts from €5 and goes to €15, except the cases in which you go to fine dining or something more expensive. In that case, you'll be paying more. If you want to grab a beer or a cocktail with your friends, beers start from €2–3 per beer, and a cocktail can go up to €10 per cocktail. Regarding the restaurants, to give you a list of restaurants that you can check online.
Okay. Restaurants here. I used to eat out a lot, not fast food. I don't do back McDonald's and Wendy's and all of those things. But like a local restaurant here and stuff like that. I don't do that much anymore because I don't know what ingredients they put in it. I've started to pay close attention to what I eat. And here's a kicker where I am. A lot of the restaurants come to the grocery store to buy the stuff to cook with. We have several restaurants come in here to buy vegetable, to buy milk, to buy anything. Even the convenience stores, people, because and they're not even in this state. I know some convenient people from convenient that own convenience store that come from Kentucky to West Virginia here to buy stuff for the convenience store. Now, eating out is, if you're eating fast food, you might be able to afford it. Though now it's said that a family making $45,000 a year cannot afford to eat at McDonald's anymore. It used to be that families could just go out and eat at McDonald's, not anymore. And it's really odd because the ingredients is so filled with chemicals, and it's like you're paying them to kill you. And I'm not joking. You know what I mean? So I don't eat out much. I can't tell you the last time I ate out. And I have a lot of friends who go hang out and they want to go eat at restaurants and stuff like that. But I feel kind of oddball if I go to a restaurant with my friends and they all order and I'm like, just give me a water. Sometimes I ask for pop and stuff, but I really don't drink pop, soft drink, soda. I don't know what you all call it over there, Coke or Pepsi or whatever. I normally don't drink that. But just to not be the oddball, I'd order a soft drink when I go to a restaurant. But I can't remember the last time I ate at a restaurant. Man, I cook everything I eat. Everything I eat, I pretty much cook. Unless, of course, it's sweet, because I just had a slice of cheesecake. Let's get back to this.
Technically, I don't know what to give you because each and every one has certain flavors or certain preferences. My best advice would be go on Google Maps, search for restaurants. Be aware that most of them have an English page and they have online menus, so you can see the dishes, you can see the prices, they are up to date and always there. And you can also, for example, use TripAdvisor, and there you have multiple filtering systems, including by prices, by type of dishes, and so on. If you found this content useful, we would be very happy if you hit the like button. It really helps the channel out, and also it helps other expats that are looking to immigrate to Romania. If you move to Bucharest and you want to travel around Romania, I would definitely recommend you going by train, as at the moment is one of the best ways of transit. Prices are quite cheap. For example, going to Brasov, which is in the mountain area, is around €12 per trip. If you want to go to the seaside, is €15 per trip. I would not recommend driving by car. At the moment, if you want to go just the weekends out of the city, the roads are quite crowded. Everybody is in a bit of a rush. Sometimes our drivers have a bit of a temper. In Bucharest, you will not find parking spaces, so that's another issue that you'll need to handle. However, if you want to rent a car and explore Romania, for example, in a convertible or something like that, do it in the middle of the week. Everything is quite okay. It's lovely to ride a car.
Now, I've been told that the trains in Romania is not reliable and it's outdated. I've seen that in the comment section a lot. Comment down below and let me know. Now, I'm assuming that in Bucharest, within the city center, the train system is a little bit better. Now, I've lived in New York, and the train system there is quite reliable. Uh, I just don't like going in those tunnels, man. Feel like I'm a rat or a mole or something, under there. I used to have to take the train every day from Brooklyn to Manhattan to go to work. I didn't like that at all. Right now in New York, the crime is supposedly so bad that they have the National Guard out there protecting people. That's not the New York I lived in. I lived in a New York where you could go on the subway and everybody's just chilling, you know what I mean? I'm not saying there was no unsavory characters there. There was. But I don't think I would want to be on a subway in New York right now. If I was in Romania and I wanted to travel to rural areas, I'd probably get a car. Because with a car, you might drive by and see something interesting and want to stop and check it out. With a train, it's scheduled stops, and I've used the train in America from here to Michigan before to go visit my sister. My sister and her family, and my brother and his family lives in Michigan. And I enjoyed it. We have something here called Amtrak, which is getting fewer and fewer because the infrastructure on the railroad is not upkept here. Do they have buses that you could take and travel in Romania to get around? I mean, not in the city, but if you want to go to the rural out area, because I have traveled on buses before. It's called the Greyhound buses, and that's the last national bus line, as far as I could tell, is still running. There used to be another one called Trailways, and that went out of business. It might be in some small areas still. But I remember taking the bus from uh, Williamsburg, Kentucky, which is a small place up in the hills of Kentucky, all the way to New York. Took a couple of days because we had to stop here and I had to switch buses and stop here and all of that. Uh, but he mentioned the train. Do buses, tour buses, take off from Bucharest and Brasov and all those places to go into the mountainous areas. Unless I know in Basra, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The mountains are right there as far as I could tell, you know what I mean? But like in Bucharest, that's a big city. That's like New York, you know what I mean? The hustle and bustle. I lived in New York, I've lived in Nashville, I've lived in Detroit. Those are big cities. Lexington, that was a medium sized city. And I've visited quite a lot of big cities since I've been here. The bus system where I live, oh my goodness. The bus goes by once every hour. So if you want to be early for work, you have to leave home an hour early and you get to work like sometimes an hour early, sometimes half an hour early, and you have to sit there and wait. If you take the later bus, you will be late for work. So where I live, the bus system isn't the most convenient to get around, but it'll do because where I live, the bus station is right outside there. So I just walk like 15 paces and I hop a bus and I get to work. And I have to walk a block to work and then a block back to catch the bus. Uh, there's a mall that's dying pretty much, and you could take it and it goes all the way up to the rich area, Barbersville, West Virginia. That's where the mall is, and I used to take the bus because the toy store I work at was up there, and I used to take the bus up there. And that was quite a pain in the butt because I had to get up at 5 a.m. to catch the bus, get to work, and I'm usually half an hour to 15 minutes early. The store doesn't open until the managers don't come in until like 6 or 6:30. So imagine in the winter, my tropical butt sitting out there shaking like that waiting for the store to open. So it's not really convenient. New York, though, woo, New York, boy, every 10 minutes a bus go by. Now, they all don't go to the same place, but you can hop a bus, get off the bus, and wait for the other bus to come, and then you take them, you go to where you're going to go. The price in New York when I was there was $1 for subway and bus. I know it's more than that, but it's got to be at least $3 to $4 by now. Here, for me to go to work, it's $1 there and $1 back, $1, US of course. But from here to the mall, it's like $1.50. You know what I mean? And the buses go a little bit out into the rural areas here also, not far, but a little. And there's like little buses that you could take, and it will get you out into the rural areas. I've never traveled on those. And since I live so close to Ohio, you could actually get a bus over to Ohio. But guess where the bus goes? The bus goes to Walmart or Sam's Club over in Ohio. So it's not like it goes through residential areas and stuff like that.
Car, but if you just want to leave Bucharest Friday evening and get back Sunday evening, usually it's quite populated. Lastly, if you came all the way to Romania, hopefully you want to learn a bit more about Romania and you're interested a bit in our heritage and our museums. As a museum ticket, usually the entrance fee is between 1, maybe €2 and €4 for fancier museums. However, there are some noticeable exceptions to this that have the price range between 10 and maybe 30 or 40 euro. For example, Peleș Castle, Dracula's Castle, the brand Castle, and we also have the entry bill, which also the fee for entrance is a bit higher as they are very popular, but you can do them only once and that's it. Again, on this side you can search for the museum and you will see them online, and under web pages they have the fees for entrance and everything else. So thank you for watching. I hope that
Okay, that was quite interesting, you know what I mean? And he talks about museums. If you visit New York, you have to visit the Guggenheim Museum or the Metropolitan Museum. Now, if you go to the Metropolitan Museum, it's going to take you a while in there. There was an authentic Egyptian bedroom of a pharaoh in there that they brought over and rebuilt it and put it in there. That was kind of cool. But that's what I remember of there. There was just so many things to see in there. And that's historical and art. Now, I really enjoyed the Guggenheim because when I went to the Guggenheim, there was an original sketch of, was it The Last Supper? Leonardo da Vinci's painting. There was I don't remember because that's back in 1987. You know what I mean? But that was quite interesting going there and seeing that. But I would love to see the museums and all the heritages and stuff like. In my island, we have our own museum and stuff like that. Uh, I don't know the cost. Of course, the last time I went in the Guggenheim and the Metropolitan was back in 1987. So the cost has gone up for sure, for sure. On the island, the cost ain't that so big. Where I'm from, we have our own museum telling us our heritage of natives, indigenous people that were there, and yeah, a lot of artifacts and stuff that were dug up from the native tribes, from the occupation of the English, the Spanish, and the French on the island. You know what I mean? It's all located in the city area. You can also go visit all the old forts and stuff, and old sugar mills from the plantation days. There's actually plantation houses still structurally there from slavery and stuff like that. So I like this, but I like how I could compare all three because I live in different places. And if you go to South America, there's all kinds of old stuff you could see. But a lot of it is like going to these places. There's a place in Peru called Machu Picchu where the indigenous people built this city, and it's up on this hill, and you have to walk hundreds of steps to get to it. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, I'm babbling on here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Drop the comments down below about the cost of living and stuff in in Romania, because I'm interested in stuff like that. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm interested in stuff like that is because it shows that us, working class, ordinary people, we're going through the same thing. We're going through the same thing worldwide. So we have stuff in common. Maybe we could find a little solidarity there. I'll leave a link in the description to this video so you can check it out. I'll also leave links to videos that I've watched on Romania. Hope you guys are having a great day, man. You all take care of each other, alright? Cool runnings.